90-Day Fiancé, Nikki Sanders dumped via text message recap S10E18. On 90-Day Fiancé, Nikki Sanders is stunned when she gets a breakup text from Justin/Igor just 2 weeks after their airport goodbye. Ashley Michelle and Manuel Velis weather the storm and say I do. Clayton Clark breathes a sigh of relief when Natalie Vallejos arrives better late than never to the altar. And Rob Warren and Sophie Sierra clean up nice for a beach wedding. Let's toast to the end of this never-ending season in this recap of Season 10 Episode 18 Happily Ever Afters. 90-Day Fiancé, Nikki Sanders cries Justin a river. Nikki Sanders is back in America after a tearful airport goodbye on 90-Day Fiancé. She's in New York City to do an interview with production. But she gets a text in the green room and breaks down sobbing. The producer asks if she's okay and she's not. It seems Justin/Igor sent a breakup text. It's quite long and articulate, but stings with words like our relationship sacrificed my dignity and shocked my family. The end is formal, wishing Nikki happiness in future endeavors. The well-crafted words do seem a little unbelievable coming from a man who still calls her the Nikki. But she is inconsolable on 90-Day Fiancé. She admits they had a recent fight over him not having a real job, and that she called him a user. So, they hadn't spoken in a week, but that wasn't unusual. And they normally just move on from these squabbles. But this time proves different. Nikki Sanders ugly cries, but there's really not a lot of actual tears. And she hugs a producer for support before leaving in an Uber. Later on 90-Day Fiancé, Nikki Sanders calls her mom for some comfort. Of course her mom comes right over. Nikki is lying in bed with perfect makeup, still ugly, crying without a smudge or a smear. Her mom is upset and suggests Nikki get up and get dressed so they can get some fresh air. Nikki admits she's not pulling the plug on the K1 just yet, and that she's begging Justin to give her another chance. But he's ignoring her and she feels extinct. Hang in there, we still have the tell-all. 90-Day Fiancé, Ashley Michelle can't get a read on the rain. It's wedding day for our favorite bathroom bangers Ashley Michelle and Manuel Velis. Manuel and his friends hit up the barber shop for a glow-up and jokes. Ashley and her sis fret over the tropical storm. Ashley wants this beach wedding come hell or high water, literally. Her sister suggests checking the radar. Ashley has a better idea and pulls out the tarot cards. She gives a wishy-washy assessment and admits the cards are as helpful as the local TV weatherman. So this 90-Day Fiancé wedding forecast is cloudy with a chance of not happening. They all push forward in hopes they can eke out a ceremony in 5 minutes before the storm hits. Ashley Michelle wails in the car hysterically, putting into question whether those crystals on her head are really working their magic. Nonetheless, the wedding goes off without a hitch other than a little rain. So, it was in the cards all along. TLC couple Clayton Clark and Natalie Vallejos say I do. Clayton Clark is still languishing at the altar when we pick back up on 90-Day Fiancé. As the llama balloons slowly deflate in the gymnasium-turned-reception hall, a glimmer of light reveals Natalie Vallejos has arrived. Clayton breathes a sigh of relief. We get a flashback to how this came about. Natalie finally got off the bed and decided to show up to marry Clayton. Miraculously, his sister Brandy's daughter arrives to do her makeup. And a hairstylist shows up as well. So, Brandy's daughter, who is also a bridesmaid, knew Natalie was coming and they would be late. So surely she could have alerted somebody they were on the way rather than let Clayton sweat. He gets props for performing a traditional Peruvian dance at the reception and Natalie joins him. Later she takes a big step and video calls her father to tell him they are married. Her father seems stunned and has to get off screen when he starts crying. Natalie is sad but doesn't regret marrying Clayton, her little hamster. 90-Day Fiancé, Sam and Citra get busy in the laundry room. It's no secret Sam Wilson is eager to move on to the honeymoon stage on 90-Day Fiancé. He's been patient, changed religions and gone through 2 ceremonies. But the first night of wedded bliss is spent sleeping upstairs with Citra's dad and sisters. Because they all fear that a ghost or a serial killer is lurking in the basement in their rented farmhouse. But the family is headed back to Indonesia. So Sam should get some relief soon. Before her dad leaves, he tells Sam his expectations. That he take care of Citra, follow his faith and be responsible. Sam Wilson assures him he will. Later Sam sets up a seductive scene with rose petals and candles. But it seems they actually consummated the marriage in the laundry room. Because Sam's dogs are used to being in the bed and were in the way of any amorous activity. So, we find that Sam did indeed get to unload. He still faces his legal problems, but she says she'll stand by him. Sophie Sierra finds her way to the altar. It's a wrap for Sophie Sierra and Rob Warren. In spite of some teasing footage that made it seem as though Sophie dashed, the pair married in a lovely beach ceremony. Sophie woke up with a sore throat on her wedding day, but managed to pull together her bridal look, which was the Princess Bride Goes to Coachella. Rob's sister, mom and friends were there for the groom. Sophie and Mom Claire had some trouble navigating the cliffs leading to the beach, but they found their way. Sophie and Rob had written some vows on 90 Day Fiancé. Mom Claire definitely didn't hide a hard eye roll when it was suggested Sophie feels loved and protected by Rob. Except when it's 3 a.m. and she has to pee outside. Nevertheless, they say I do. And while Claire is emotional, she does make good on her promise to catch the bouquet. And doesn't knock anyone out in the process. Next up, the tell-all.